Last week, the next arc in Warrior Cats, Changing Skies, was announced. Changing Skies will be the 9th arc in Warrior Cats. Despite us not having a lot of information about the series, I made some predictions. Now we have a whole lot more information, including a summary, a photo, and who our protagonists will be. So let's go over all that we know about Changing Skies, and let's make some predictions on what Changing Skies might include. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I post Warrior Cats and Wings of Fire content often, and your support means a lot to me. And to those who've already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Without further ado, let's move on to the video. Let's first go over the name of the first book. The name of the first book has been revealed to be called The Elder's Quest. This brings to mind The Apprentice's Quest, which is pretty much the same title but in reverse because elders are much older than apprentices. Since The Apprentice's Quest was about SkyClan, it makes me think that The Elder's Quest might have some SkyClan links as well, which is even further enhanced by the identities of one of its protagonists. The Elder's Quest also hints that they might be traveling somewhere. It's been a while since we've had a true blue traveling book that actually the cats go beyond the clans to the mountains or the sea, so I hope that we'll get to see somewhere else. And maybe stay there for a while, see how other cats live. I don't know, I'm just hoping for something different at this point. Let's move on to the blurb. The launch of a brand new arc in Aaron Hunter's #1 best-selling Warrior series finds the clans navigating an ominous prophecy that foreshadows the destruction of the Moonpaw and the end of the clan's cat's connection to StarClan. As Leaf Bear approaches, a new danger threatens the clans. Two-like construction has encroached on clan territory, poisoning the stream and making prey especially scarce for SkyClan. Meanwhile, their leader is struggling with a loss of vision, while trying to maintain authority over a clan that increasingly doubts her ability to lead. In ShadowClan, Tawnypelt senses peril, as the two-like construction continues to threaten the Moonpaw, but she can't get any cats, especially her son Tigerstar, to listen. Frustrated with the younger cats who don't respect her, she decides to take matters into her own paws. In the midst of the chaos, Moonpaw, an apprentice struggling to understand the mysterious voice in her head, thinks that she might be having visions, but the voice becomes increasingly sinister and Moonpaw worries if it's a sign of darkness on the horizon. I have to say that this blurb doesn't inspire much confidence in the arc and what could happen in it, because it sounds like it's just a mangling of all the previous arc's ideas. It says that the clans will be dealing with something that threatens their connection to StarClan. The last two arcs, the Broken Code and the Stardust Clan, dealt with that, and we've had other arcs dealing with StarClan as well. The destruction of the Moonpaw, I mean, we just had the Moonstone being partially destroyed, so that's not too original. The clans are dealing with two legs encroaching on their territory again. Wow, it's just like the new prophecy. These are all plot points that we've seen before, and I doubt that the Aarons will have a new and original take on it. I mean, Darktail was literally just Soul upgraded, Ashfur was literally just Tigerstar upgraded when he returned in the Broken Code, and Splashtail is like Hawkfrost upgraded. I highly doubt there's going to be anything original. Speaking of original, did you notice Moonpaw's description, the description of the plot that she's going to be dealing with? Now, I'm not the first person to notice it, but isn't it literally just Moon Watcher from Wings of Fire? The prefix moon, struggling to understand the mysterious voice in her head, might be having visions, the voice becoming increasingly sinister? I mean, seriously, this is literally just Moon Watcher in cat form. Moving on to the other protagonists, I know that I've sometimes said that the Aarons love nostalgia baiting in Warrior Cats, but bringing back two Arc 1 cats to be protagonists is next level. Granted, Leafstar technically isn't an Arc 1 cat, but she was born around the time of Arc 1. Also, the two cats have had their own books before. They've had graphic novels, novellas, and super editions, a lot of them between the two of them. However, they have never been protagonists for main series books. I'm a bit confused on what they're going to explore with these two characters. Their arcs are pretty much set. Leafstar learned how to be leader of the clan. Tawnypelt has been struggling with her clan and her loyalties to it for a long time. Tawnypelt's clan pretty much established her to be finally retired. She's gone out of retirement 2 times and it looks like she's going to do it again. Just please let this old woman rest. It says that Leafstar is going to be struggling with a loss of vision. I'm not sure if this is going to be blindness or a loss of vision as in being able to see the future. And I hope that won't be the first one, as the Erins have a very long history with ableism, and I am not fond to see that return as the center point as one of the arcs. Tawnypelt not getting Tigerstar to be able to listen to her is a bit odd as well, because Tigerstar is a bit of a mama's boy, both of the Tigerstars were. And it says that she's frustrated with the younger cats who don't respect her, when she's pretty well respected in her clan. Shadow Clan has already had a problem with rebellious young cats. That was the whole point of A Vision of Shadows, and they're just bringing that plot point back again for no reason. Then we have Moonpaw, the unknown factor. Moonpaw we know nothing about. There's no cat currently named Moon in the clans. There is a Moon outside of the clans who lives with the sisters, but it's pretty unlikely. I've seen two main theories on who Moonpaw might be. The first one is a cat from the tribe, which is pretty unlikely as the Erins love shoving the tribe to his side. And the second one, which is the most obvious that's going to happen, is a Night Sun kit. Now, I'm a bit happy to see Night Sun kits. I feel like Moonpaw will end up being a healer apprentice. It just calls her an apprentice, but the Erins love making their healer apprentices miserable and just suffering all the time, and I doubt that pattern will change with this arc. Speaking of patterns, the Erins tend to settle into a particular pattern. They have the healer who's suffering all the time, the rebellious one who doesn't respect their parents, and the she-cat. And normally the two, the rebellious one and the she-cat end up dating. We've seen this with Bristleroot, and we see that with Night Sun. And I wonder if Tawnypelt and Leafstar will date. Now, I won't say that it's gonna happen, but all I'm saying is I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Or I wouldn't be complaining if it did. Now let's take a look at the cover for this book. We've got Leafstar in the foreground, and then we've got two cats in the background. I think the cats in the background are Tawnypelt and Crowfeather. Crowfeather's the one with his back towards the camera, I believe. He's looking incredibly furry here though, so you can tell not a lot of effort was put into this, or they didn't receive a lot of instructions. And Leafstar's neck looks a bit off. Crowfeather being here on this cover makes me think that all the cats from the initial The New Prophecy quest might be going on a quest together, plus Leafstar for some reason. I have no clue why. Crowfeather has had an interesting character arc, and I'd really like to see him again. He's a miserable cat some of the time, and he's also incredibly interesting, and I'm really glad that the Erins have just done what they did with this character. In Crowfeather's trial, it would have been so easy for them to just blame Breezepelt for everything, but they instead just took the higher ground and said, nope, Crowfeather had a direct hand in how Breezepelt was raised, and Breezepelt is Crowfeather's responsibility whether he likes it or not. I'd really like to see all the New Prophecy gang meet up together, well, all the living New Prophecy gang, but it's probably not going to happen with Bramblestar looking even more sickly by the day, and Squirrelstar being busy leading ThunderClan. And also a lot of the other cats from New Prophecy being, dead. I'd really like it by the end of this arc, all the cats from Arc 2 finally die off. Killing off Mistystar was a good start to that, as she's been around since before Arc 1, but Tawnypelt needs to die. Brightheart, I love her, but she needs to die. Cloudtail needs to die. Squirrelflight needs to die. Birchfall needs to die. Any of the other cats who I didn't mention who are still around need to die. Anyways, those were all my theories and thoughts on the new arc. What are yours? Comment them down below. If you liked this video, feel free to like and subscribe. I make Warrior Cats and Wings of Fire videos pretty often, and your support means a lot to me. And to those who've already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gotten here without y'all. Peace, Rogan out.